I, for one, love the action and the pacing in Andor. For the non-action parts, I love absorbing the cinematography. I love absorbing the acting performance and the writing, the connections and symbols, the themes expressed, and the poetry that George Lucas so loves to quote and say that it's all about rhyming and coming back in a circle like poetry. I love seeing that done much better than George Lucas did. But specifically, I love the action in Andor because it adds a lot of weight, it adds heaviness, it adds consequences, and it adds tension to the action. In the closing scenes of episode 11 and the opening scenes of episode 12, Andor and Malshir going to rescue Clea, there's so many frustrations that I have because the characters are sort of letting their guard down and not performing at their best as they have been before. And it's so frustrating because I know the action can have such high consequences in Andor. We don't know that Clea will live through this. And I want her to. I want the message to be delivered, and I want it coming from her mouth, and presumably it does in that later council meeting that they have. But the show has shown us that characters like Brasso or Wilman's father and other favorites have and will die. And we've seen stormtroopers be lethally effective, and it makes those scenes better. Although Clea lived in that scene, she made it out, it still gives you that feeling. My reaction, I really showed my frustration, but it's good. It means the show is eliciting a big response in you because you care about the characters and you care about the outcome, and you know that they could die at any moment. So you want it to work out and you don't want the characters to make bad decisions. And I think that that's really important. At the end of the Gorman massacre, Wilman says he's got to go find Drina. And I thought that was going to be the end of Wilman. And when he showed up later, I was so happy that he actually lived. And that was also another part where that goodbye wasn't just like, oh, well, of course he's going to live. And Drina's also, of course, going to live. We're going to see them all again. It was like what I thought was the end. So while some people say the pacing is too slow in Andor and there's not enough action, I think the action is incredibly good when it's there. It's incredibly purposeful when it's there. It's not just thrown in for no reason. And it also sets the tension high, because when there is action, it can be very consequential. And we need to see our characters built up so that we either feel those tense moments when we know we could lose someone, or when we do lose someone, we feel that gravity. I think it evokes a much bigger emotional response from us, and I'm all in favor of that instead of just your popcorn violence that doesn't really matter. But anyway, I love the build up to the action and the violence. I love the consequences and the weight that the violence has in Andor. It's great. I guess I just love violence, huh?